What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 37 of our Liverpool FC playthrough here in Football Manager 2016. Today, I've got a game against Dortmund in the first round of the Champions League. We're actually going to play both legs this episode, and I'm going to kind of skip the number of fixtures in between. It's the first round of the Champions League. It was our minimum expectation this season in the competition, so we've reached that. And now it's just kind of a chance, I guess, to see if we can go onwards and upwards from here. Since the last episode, which if you missed it was against Arsenal, one game to tell you guys about: a disappointing 2-2 draw against Southampton in the Premier League. Looking at the table here, you can see Southampton in 7th, so they're not the worst team by any means, but that draw does see Arsenal leapfrog us into the number 1 spot in the league, which is bitterly disappointing. However, with 11 games left, we still have a chance, so I guess that's a positive I can take. Looking at our form though, it's been pretty wretched. This is the kind of game where, having only won 2 of our last 8, we just simply put have to beat Dortmund. It'd be a great way to put us back on kind of winning ways. Looking at our results and games that we've got coming up: Hull, Derby, Swansea and Huddersfield in the league. They're opportunities to build confidence and to build some fun. We're going to have these 2 Dortmund games obviously in today's episode, as well as the Manchester United game, which I won't be live coming. So there's some pretty big games that kind of we need to perform in, really. In an ideal situation, we need to win silverware this year. Now, I don't think we're going to win the Champions League, but I feel like the League and the FA Cup are 2 very realistic ways we can go about achieving some kind of silverware this year. The League is always going to be my priority, but, you know, we're going to go for everything that we can whilst we're in all these various competitions. Anyway, looking at Dortmund's situation just quickly in the Bundesliga, you can see here they are currently in 4th. They've not had the best season by any means. Interesting to note, Bayern in 5th place. That's a pretty bizarre Bundesliga table to look at. Wolfsburg, Leverkusen, Schalke, Dortmund. Yeah, not the usual teams you might expect right at the top of the table, certainly. So anyway, looking at our team for today's game, Barbosa out injured, unfortunately. I've been resting a lot of our players. We've had a lot of fixtures. It's been a pretty kind of hectic, I guess, period, you could say, in our season so far. Looking at our team, though, we're in pretty good shape. I'm pretty happy with how the squad's getting on. We've been performing pretty well of late. As you can see here, Sturridge not 100% kind of match sharp. Despite how kind of some of the performances and results have gone, like, we've kept scoring, which is, I guess, a slight positive I can have. There's only been one game where we failed to score. And it's just a bit of a shame, really, that our defence, which for so long in this season, as you can see, has just been an absolutely massive kind of integral part of our success, certainly in kind of the last 8 games or so, has just kind of come under fire and just not been the same. But anyway, I'm pretty optimistic for this game. I'm pretty hopeful we can get a good result here. Just going to sort out our team just a little bit. I want to make sure, of course, that Götze and Coutinho both play. I think this is the team we're going to go with. It's pretty much the strongest team that we have in terms of the starting 11. This is kind of what I see as the best starting 11 in the side right now. Perhaps the defensive mid positions up for contention. Thiago Maya and kind of Bazor are 2 very different players, but both kind of, you know, they offer something in the centre of midfield. If we just look here at the attributes, you can see, okay, well, it's bugged. Excellent. Oh, there we go, sorted. But you can see here, Maya probably just a little bit better. Bazor more kind of gifted going forward in terms of his dribbling, first touch and finishing, but for a defensive midfielder, not perhaps such essential attributes. You can see they're pretty even. I think I'm going to start Maya today. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the team and kind of the players we've got at our disposal, I guess. Looking at the team, though, it's a little bit of a concern perhaps to see kind of the current situation when it comes to, I don't know, performances. I mean, if we look at the last 5, I said that we were playing well recently. In reality, we haven't been. I do feel like we've got a tad bit unlucky, but you can see, looking at the average ratings, there's no one really standing out and being counted. I guess you could say Zuma and Sacco have done well, at least according to the last 5 games. But we really need Sturridge to come big for us, simply put. I feel like this episode I've been kind of creating a load of oxymorons and going back on myself. It's a weird situation at the moment, because I don't feel like we've played badly, but then I look at this run of results and it's quite frankly appalling. And it's really, you know, spiraled out of control ever since I upped the board expectations to thinking that we could win the league. But anyway, that's enough rambling for now. As I mentioned, we've pretty much got the strongest team, in my opinion, that we could have for this Dortmund game. Only Gabriel Barbosa out injured. We'll see how we get on today. Of course, we've been pretty good in the Champions League so far. We've beaten Barcelona twice. We've only lost the one game. That was away against Napoli. This first leg here is away against Dortmund, so we're going to be looking to hopefully get a few goals. Away goals, of course, ever so important in the Champions League. And yeah, we'll see how we get on here against a Dortmund team which they're not doing too great in Germany. They, of course, made it out of their Champions League group, so they can't really be underestimated. But at the same time, we could have been given a lot tougher draw, in my opinion. Anyway, looking at the stats early on, it's fairly 50-50, but 6 minutes in, we're going to have the first chance here. Sturridge winning that well. And yeah, we need to step things up. Looking at the Dortmund team, it's a pretty terrifying midfield, and they've got players like Gundogan, Royce, Kagawa, and, well, Royce has just scored there. 7 minutes in, he opens up the scoring. First goal of the game. Dortmund strike first in this Champions League first round, and pretty poor, pretty darn poor indeed. You can see, please check, I think with a long ball over the top. I mean, Nathaniel Klein, he just seems to be caught completely out of position. It feels like our defence has moved over too much to follow the play, and one big ball switched over the top has really screwed us over, and now Mario Götze is injured. Well, it just gets better, doesn't it? We'll move Coutinho to Trequartista. I'm also going to move, I think, Bazor into roaming playmaker. In fact, no, I'm not. I'm going to move Firmino. I think I'm actually going to play Firmino as the Trequartista here. So we're just going to do a straight swap. Firmino for Mario Götze. Hopefully that isn't a long-term injury, because Mario Götze has been a key player for us. But we've got to kind of focus on the here and now. We've got a chance. Coutinho, Moreno from this corner. Meyer at the edge of the box. Shoots. Blocked away, though. And now Dortmund going to try and break here. Royce switches it. And now we need to defend Park Ju-ho. I probably butchered that name, I'm sorry, with the ball. But now we can bring the ball forward. Sturridge got explosive pace, taking on a few. Smashes it. What a goal that is. Take a bow, Daniel Sturridge. What a fantastic finish that was. Carries the ball from in his own half. Just charges at the defence. They step off him. They step off him. No options ahead of him. Just hits it. Keeper should probably do a little bit better, but offsided perhaps by the Dortmund defence in front, and we punish Dortmund for standing off our man. And we get back into this game 1-1, an important away goal, and now hopefully we can take that momentum and really carry it forward into this game. Firmino, of course, coming on off the bench with the assist as well, so that's pretty darn pleasing. And yeah, I mean, I said at the start, my expectations for the Champions League aren't really that high. I guess for me, the real situation here is I want to win the league with Liverpool this year if we can. I kind of said a few episodes ago now that if we got to kind of 10 games left and we were right up there, that would be the competition I focus on. And that's kind of the situation we do find ourselves in, despite kind of our patchy form. However, we will kind of give it our all in Europe, but at the same time, I'm not going to kind of... I don't know, I'm not going to get too hooked up on winning this competition just yet. I don't feel like the squad's ready. It would take a miracle run, although we're on the attack here. That's a penalty. Sturridge with a chance now to make it 2-1. But yeah, league's the priority this year, but, I mean, we're in the Champions League. We've reached the minimum expectations, which is fantastic, but we want to go on from here if possible, and we have a chance to do that with Daniel Sturridge. In fact, no, it's Lacazette going to step up, and he's missed the penalty. Excellent. 37 minutes in, still 1-1. We have a set piece. Sacco heads over. That was a chance there, but I cannot believe we've missed the penalty. Alexander Lacazette, he's not had the best season. He had a fantastic breakout year. Having spent £47 million last year on him, I felt like we really got our money's worth in his first season. Loads of assists, loads of goals. This year, though, he has struggled a little bit. Perhaps that penalty miss is a little bit of an unfair reflection, and he has got a lot of assists for us. But considering the benchmark, I guess, that he gave himself and kind of set last year, you know, he really set the bar high, I guess, going forward. He's just not quite been the same this year. But anyway, 1-1 at the break, should be 2-1. Looking at the stats, we've been the better team. I'm hoping now we can kick on in this second half, try and get, you know, a few more away goals, certainly at least one. Ideally, winning this away leg has got to be the aim. And we're on the attack here. Firmino scores pretty much straight from kickoff. It took 28 seconds. His 5th goal of the season. The sub having a real impact in this game. He's got one goal. He's got an assist. Lacazette, well, I criticised him and now he stepped up to the mark. He's trying to redeem himself, I guess, for that penalty miss. A nice little through ball through. Great run by Firmino. And yeah, we take a lead in this game, which we've been dominated. And now, hopefully, we can kick on from here and continue in this kind of I guess, performance that we've been putting in so far since really we conceded. And we're on the attack here. Klein, big ball over, options in the middle. Firmino is there again. Please don't be offside. He's not offside. It's 3-1. 2 goals in 2 minutes. He's going off. Roberto Firmino. He's decided that I've been playing him on the bench too much this season. And he wants to redeem himself, and he is doing that right now. Lacazette not involved this time, so I'm still going to blame him for his penalty miss. But, well, it's not been a bad start to the second half, has it? 3-1. 1 more goal would be incredible. 4 away goals, no matter what the end result would be kind of dreamland stuff. And we've got the ball here. We're bringing it forward. Big ball up to Sturridge, intercepted. Kurt Zouma, though, with some nice defending there. And now we look to build. Thiago Maia on a booking. Might sub him off, although Klein score through here. And Lacazette scores. Well, what a second half this has been. We are 4 minutes into the second half and we have scored 3 goals. This is madness. This is pretty crazy right now. Coutinho up to Klein. Klein just plays it across. Beautiful ball. Lacazette dashing between the 2 defenders in the channel. And a nice tidy finish into the top left corner. And, well, what a first leg this is turning out to be for us. I'm hoping we can go out and get some more now. Coutinho with a little gashed head injury. We'll take him off. There's no point in risking it too much. I'm going to bring on Yuri Tielemans into that roaming playmaker role. He's a leggy player. He's very fast. Hopefully he can add some explosive pace in this midfield now towards the end of this game. And wow, what a second half performance this has been so far. We have come out the traps flying. I mean, I'm a little bit annoyed now that we've not scored in 10 minutes, but I'm not going to complain too much. This has been a fantastic performance. A great way to respond to conceding that early goal. A great way as well to respond, I guess, given our recent form. We've got a few winnable games, as I mentioned. This wasn't one I had down as necessarily an easy winnable game, but it was a game I expected us to do well in. But given our recent form, I knew it wasn't going to be easy, but we're looking good. And if we can perform like this in more of these upcoming games, there is no reason why we won't still be challenging for Arsenal at the top of the table. Anyway, 10 minutes left there or thereabouts. We have a few changes that we can make. Well, we have 1 change left that we can make. I might make it with kind of 5 minutes left. Just bring on someone like Bazor into the midfield. In fact, let's do it now. So they'll be on Richedley, Bazor for Maia. Maia already booked. Don't want to see him get sent off. Sturridge with an injury. We can't quick sub him. In fact, we can because we can undo our last sub because it didn't go through. Unfortunately for us, we've not really got a keeper on the bench. Why is the tactics option greyed out? I don't know. Well, we're just going to have to play Sturridge with his knock, unfortunately. But anyway, oh, okay. I know what this is. If you've not seen this yet, it's a bug in the beta where the keeper gets stuck standing over the ball. I'm wondering how long that was going on for. It's one of the only major bugs I've seen this year. If we look at action zones, for example, I mean, it's been stuck in out half 100% of the time. I've heard this is quite a common problem, but I've only had it this one time, and I've played a lot of this game. That's a real shame that that game ended with, well, I guess that was Mignolet standing over the ball. It looks like it only happened towards the end because Zouma was injured, so perhaps not the end of the world. But alas, 4-1 win. We'll take it. Good performance. If you don't know what that bug is, basically the keeper gets stuck standing over the ball. I've seen it happen to people right early on in a half, and it happens for 40 minutes. Looks like it only impacted the last 5 there. Good win though. 4-1 it finished, and yeah, pretty happy with that performance all in all. Great to get those away goals. Great to hopefully set us into some good form. Of course, this isn't the last game of this episode. I will be bringing you guys the second leg. It's about a month away, I do believe. Just less than a month. So, got a few games to play. I'll be back in just a second, guys. We'll review those fixtures you've missed and crack on with the second leg, where really we put ourselves in a commanding position to go through to the second knockout round. Okay, guys, so we are back. It's time for the second leg, but before that, we have got to review some fixtures for you guys since the last kind of match. And as you can see here, 5 games played, 3 wins, a draw and a loss. The draw and the loss actually come in the FA Cup, which a little bit annoyed to go out of to Manchester United, especially given the circumstances which we'll come on to shortly, but the league form's been very, very pleasing. Anyway, we beat Hull, as you can see here, 2-1, really convincing performance. Took a fairly late Richedley Bazor goal, however, to get us the win here. This guy, he's been getting some pretty big goals for us this year. He's really stepped up as well. You can see a 7.17 average rating for him. We then won the next game. No, we didn't. That's a lie. We drew the next game 0-0 against Manchester United. It's a game that we were probably the better team in at Anfield. We had a sending off. As you can see here, Moreno came on off the bench and was sent off within half an hour. We managed to hold on to the end for a 0-0. However, in the replay, things went massively tits up. We were winning 2-0 after 23 minutes. I was loving it. We were dominating. You can see we were dominating. Look at those stats. But we lost 4-2. Keita here getting a 4 goals, was it? Or a hat-trick, certainly. He got a hat-trick in the second half as United came back to win 4-2. Was really disappointed by that game. Certainly felt a little bit unjust. I felt a little bit FM'd by it. But alas, we conceded a lot of clear-cut chances. And, well, Manchester United were very, very clinical, as the stats suggest. However, bouncing back from that game, we played 2 more league games and 2 really, really emphatic wins. The first of which came against Derby, where we won 5-0. Lacazette putting in a great performance here. I kind of earlier in this episode criticised him and said he's been a little bit disappointing when it comes to his form this year. If you actually look at his average rating, he's actually done better than last year. But I guess what's kind of disappointing is the fact he's only got 13 goals in the league. However, he has got 13 assists, so he has surpassed his total last year. And, well, Daniel Sturridge, who you can see also scored in this game, he's been banging in goals for fun when he's been fit. He's got 16 goals in 15 games, so I guess he's been stealing a little bit of Lacazette's limelight. But anyway, good win there, and then we followed things up with another really emphatic win, this time 4-1 against Swansea. Thiago Maia grabbing a brace, a little bit unusual to see our little kind of defensive midfielder grabbing 2 goals. It's the only 2 goals he scored all year, but he got them in this one game. It was a good win. 4-1, and if we just take a look at the league table, you can see those wins put us in quite a nice situation, really. We've now played the same amount of games as Arsenal. We actually have a slightly better goal difference, although it is very, very tight, and we're 3 points clear. You can see in 4th are Spurs. They are 5 points behind us, but with a game in hand, so they could go above Arsenal if they were to win that game. Man City perhaps also worth just keeping an eye on, along with Chelsea. City on 54 points, but they have 2 games in hand, and Chelsea on 50 points with 2 games in hand. But regardless, we're 17 points now in the Champions League spots. That's seeming pretty secure at this point. Really, we've just got to kick on and I guess maintain our form in the league. Of course, I believe next episode we will be taking on Spurs. Yeah, we will be. And that's only 3 games away, so that's going to be an absolutely massive tie that could really kind of decide where the title goes at the top of the table. Anyway, let's get into today's second game of the episode. It's against Dortmund. Of course, we beat them 4-1 in the first leg, which was a great performance. Hopefully, we can't completely choke that kind of, I guess, lead away today. We've blown a few leads so far this season. We lost to, obviously, United, having been 2-0 up and lost 4-2 recently. The Arsenal game is one of those ones which I'm never going to forget about in the history of FM. I don't think I've ever had that happen in a live com where, of course, we were leading 3-0 and ended up losing 5-3 in the second half. So we know what's required of us here. Looking at the team, just a few injuries to tell you guys about. Goetze got injured last game. He's out for between 9 days and 2 weeks. We also have Sacco out. He's out for just shy of 2 weeks. A bit of a miss for us, but we've still got Bazor who can play centre-back. And of course, we've got Joe Gomez and a few other options on the bench if we need them. Anyway, let's submit our team for this game. We've got a pretty strong squad at our disposal, really, despite the 2 injuries to first-team players. Dortmund predicted by the... in fact, I thought... it was going to say he thought Dortmund would win. He doesn't. We're actually being backed by the pundit, which is nice. We're also favourites. 4-1 is a really nice margin. You can see, actually, quite intriguingly, Bayern. Okay, that's offensive. Dortmund going with the exact same system and shape as us. Hopefully, we're not just going to cancel each other out. We are, of course, 4-1 up after the first leg. We've played very, very well in that leg. We're in some nice form. We've scored 9 goals in our last 2 games against Derby and Swansea. Slightly different calibre of opposition today, but given our good lead in the first leg, I'm hoping we can, just have more of the same here. As I say that, however, Kagawa bringing the ball forward and Aubameyang blasts it over. That was a serious opportunity for Dortmund. In the first 3 minutes, maybe a little bit of a warning for us, but we'll hopefully, tighten things up now. Although another big ball forward and Aubameyang is terrifying with his pace, but Thiago Maia just says, no, not today. Gets the ball, lays it back cool and composed, and we now build from the back. Klein here, bringing the ball down the right-hand side, inside to Sturridge. Nice ball, options in the box. Sturridge turns his man. Can he hit it? He can. Saved, however, by a goalkeeper wearing the number 9. I thought that was 98. It says 38, Jack. 38. A little bit of a weird number for a goalkeeper, but we'll go with it. We have the ball again here. Coutinho, out wide to Sturridge. Options in the middle. Cuts inside. Beautiful run. Hits it. Keeper with another save. That was a clear-cut chance. And we're looking pretty good in this game. Looking at the stats, we're dominating despite that early Dortmund chance. We've kind of not conceded yet, which is pleasing to see. And we're on the attack again here. Jordan Henderson, edge of the box. Coutinho, Fred, plays it across. Cleared away, but only as far as Klein. Can he whip in a ball of quality? He can't. It's cleared away. And now Dortmund going to try and counter. Zuma missing an interception. Aubameyang through, and a fantastic save by Mignolet. He's been called into action there. He's made a massive save for us, the Belgium in goal. And he keeps the clean sheet intact for now. And 25 minutes in, whilst we've had the better of the play statistically, Dortmund, 2 clear-cut chances, 2 really quick breakaways, using that terrifying pace of Aubameyang. But it's just not worked out for them. And we have a chance here now. We've had a free kick. It's not been fully cleared. Lacazette, can he pull it back? He can't. It's another save. It's another clear-cut chance for us. And hopefully we're not going to, live to kick ourselves over these mistakes and these misses, because we've had a good amount of chances early on. And at the moment, the scores remain 0-0. I guess the fact that we've got that cushion of 4-1 makes me slightly more relieved. If this was the first leg, I'd be reacting very differently to what I've seen so far. And we have another chance there from the corner. Maybe we can build from the back. Klein could have some time on the ball. Got some options. Plays up to Tielemans. Meyer in the centre. Coutinho, this is a nice passing move. We're finding a lot of space. And Coutinho goes for some crazy finish. It goes miles over in the end. Still 0-0. We've not shown a cutting edge in this game, which, given the last few performances, I was hoping we were going to see some of that kind of, transpire and be carried into Europe. But at the moment, that's not happening. We're not looking like a team who scored 9 goals in their last 2 games, and now we need to defend. Gundogan hits it over, and we're let off again. Dortmund have had clear-cut chances in this game. If they take the 2 Aubameyang chances and the Gundogan chance, it's 4-4. But anyway, we're on the attack again here. Sturridge, options in the box, plays it to Coutinho. It deflects in. We will take that. That is a great goal for us there. Doesn't really change the actual task at hand for Dortmund. They needed to score 4 away goals in this game to have any chance of going through. That goal just means if they are to score 4, that will only take its extra time. But regardless, pleasing to see Sturridge with a nice little intelligent pass across. Coutinho with the shot deflected off the defender. Went in. It doesn't matter how they hit the back of the net. It only matters that it did. And at half-time, it looks like it's going to be 1-0 on the night, 5-1 on aggregate, and this is a really, really good performance. Perhaps not look quite as defensively secure as we could in terms of how many clear-cut chances we've conceded. However, despite that, I don't think we can complain one little bit about the performance and how we're looking across the 2 legs. We look like the better team. It's pretty pleasing to be able to say that, and well, I'm already relishing what could be, our opposition in the next game, as we have a chance here. Sturridge out wide to Fred. Can he whip in the ball? He can. Lacazette there. Pulls it across. Hummels heads away, but only as far as Thiago Meyer, who hits the crossbar. Well, I talked about how he got 2 goals against Swansea and he hadn't scored many. He almost added to his tally for the season there. It ricocheted off the underside of the crossbar. Another chance here. Nathaniel Klein whips it in. Only cleared as far away as Tielemans, who runs to the edge of the box. Henderson there. Lovely little finish by Jordan Henderson. Makes it 2-0. Makes it 6-1. And we are running rampant here against Dortmund now. Putting a really good performance away. We're following that up with a really good performance at home in this second leg. We've definitely upped the tempo that little bit. And that is a beautiful finish there by Jordan Henderson. In the 53rd minute, we are in a pretty good situation now. I'm going to take off some players who I don't want to get injured. Bazor's booked, so we're going to take him off just to make sure he doesn't get sent off. Thiago Meyer's not had the best of games, so I'm going to move Henderson into that centre mid-defend role. And we're going to bring on Firmino to play the box-to-box midfielder role for us. But all in all, this is looking like it's going to be a very comfortable performance. Now, I guess after the first leg, I felt pretty confident. You don't want to get overconfident, and I feel like I've suffered from that a little bit perhaps this season, but this has been a very professional performance by us. We've not become complacent, I guess, with our league. The players are performing well. We have another chance here. Klein, can he whip it in? Headed away by Piszczek, but Tielemans is still there. Henderson, this is just great. We are hassling Dortmund. We're not letting them have any time on the ball. We've limited their opportunities, particularly in this second half. We have another chance here. Nathaniel Klein, bring it down the right, whips it in. Daniel Sturridge is there. makes it 3-0, 7-1 on aggregate. This is getting a little bit silly right now, but it's been deserved, really, looking at the stats all over Dortmund. And if we can continue this kind of performance and put in performances like this in the league, there is no reason why we will not win the entire division this year. This is pleasing. I'm just very content at this moment in time. I feel like I can just sit and enjoy the game. The only issue is that because there's so many goals and because it's kind of a bit beyond doubt now, there's only so much I can really talk about with this game. I feel like, particularly with all these live comms, I always get paranoid that I'm going to repeat myself. Please don't let Royce get into the box. Thank you, players. But yeah, it's tricky actually doing live comms. As you guys will know, obviously, prior to this series, it's been a while since I've done regular FM videos, particularly kind of live commed actual games, and I still feel like I'm getting into the groove of them. So if you've got any feedback on these kind of match live comms, let me know what you change, and stuff, I guess, in the comments. Sometimes I feel like I repeat myself. I have my own little catchphrases and ways of wording things, which I definitely overuse. And there's games like this one where, as you can see, there's a load of highlights, but in reality the game is all said and done and there isn't so much to say about it other than kind of to stare at my monitor, I guess, and smile like a gormless idiot because we're just performing so well. Granted, actually, to be fair, Dortmund had more clear-cut chances. It's just we've been very, very clinical in front of goal. I guess that is largely down to the fact we have Lacazette and Sturridge in our ranks, both fully fit. I'm hoping that we can keep them fully fit for the rest of the season. Vieto offside there. That goal going to be disallowed. With 8 minutes left, let's just make one more change. I'm going to take off Lacazette, who's had actually a bit of a game to forget, really. And we'll bring on Breel Embolo just for the closing stages of this match. Give him a little bit of a run out, the Swiss player. He's a player who still needs game time. I feel like he's just lacking that little bit of confidence. A few goals for him could definitely do him some good. He's definitely put in some decent performances, but, well, you've just seen that. His issue this season. He kicks it into row Z. And I think that's going to be all she wrote for this game. 30 seconds left, unless there's a late goal here. Embolo in the box, going to be cleared away. That's probably game, set and match. It's going to finish 7-1 here, unless there's another late goal. The ball to the back post. Embolo not going to get there. Dortmund been poor this game. This has been a fantastic episode, not just in terms of the two, I guess, Champions League fixtures, but in terms of how we've performed in the league. I really feel like we're getting things back on track now, and that's pretty pleasing to be able to say. Anyway, as I mentioned, next episode will be that game against Tottenham. We are actually going to have the Champions League games too. Might be back for them. Well, I will be back for them. I'll have to work out how we're going to do these Champions League games. It might be a similar format to this one where we do the two Champions League games, then the Tottenham episode for episode, would it be 39 by that point? There's so many episodes, I'm kind of losing count at the moment. It's been a little bit of a crazy run of episodes, I guess you could say. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap things up from me. As I mentioned, if you've got any feedback for my live comms, leave it down below. I think I can definitely improve. I still really feel like I'm getting to grips with it all still. Obviously, FM16 still pretty young, really, and I've got plenty of time to improve and, I guess, recapture my finest form when it comes to my commentaries. But yeah, that wraps things up from me. I've already said that. Smash the like button if you did enjoy. And yeah, thanks for watching as always, guys. If you've enjoyed it, leave a like, leave a comment. I'm just repeating myself. Bloody hell, Jack, you really are rusty at these live comms. Let's just end it there. Cut. Like, I don't know. I've not got a movie clapper. This is possibly my worst outro ever. Thank you for watching. If you've got to this point, just write Jack, you fail in the comments. Curious to see how many people get to this embarrassingly poor point. And yeah, that wraps up everything from me. Thank you for watching. And I've said that a load of times. I'm just going to go. I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out. Oh, God. It's awful. Awful.